Welcome to the happytans podcast, where you will learn everything you need to know about running a successful sunless tanning business. We will interview some of the industry's top business owners to find out how they took a passion and turned it into a prosperous business. And here's your host, Grant Conscious.
Hello and welcome to the Happy Tans podcast. Today we have on Fabiola from beautiful South Beach, Miami. How are you doing today, Fabiola?
Very good, thank you. So happy to be here.
Yes, I'm very happy to have you. Come highly recommended. So I'm very excited to hear about the information that you can share with anybody. So if you just kind of want to start us off, give us a little background information about you and how long you've been in business and anything you want to share, that'd be great.
Of course, we'll be happy to. Well, thank you for having me. Very excited to be in my first podcast.
My pleasure.
Feels so important. My name is Fabiola Trujillo. I am from Ecuador. I've been here in the States since '98, and I love it because I made my dream come true, and I'll tell you about it. So I've been in this, like a facialist since 1987. Mm-hmm. I cannot even count even how many years is that. And spray tan since 2000. So I am the owner and founder of Tan by Fabiola here in Miami Beach. And I've been doing spray tan since 2000. Pretty much it was Fantasy Tan that came over. They are the ones that invented this stuff.
Right.
And they came over to my house and they sprayed me, and they say, okay, here, all the products, bye. And I was like, oh my God. And that was the start of it all. I just started spray tanning everyone and seeing how they felt and seeing them the next day. That's when I see, oh my God, I'm putting too much, I'm putting too little. So that was the beginning of it. And pretty much I thought that this was such an incredible thing to do because you are able to have a tan without ruining your skin. I said, like, oh, my God. And I got some friends together. We got, like, a little space, and we started. That's how we started. I never began doing it mobile. I always had my store all the way from the beginning. But back in 2000, people didn't know what this was. So you said, what do you do, spray tanning? It's like, what? And still, it's incredible. Still, people don't know much about spray tanning, but we're trying to spread out the word.
Yeah, it's still relatively new, and people, still have a hard time wrapping their head around it. And the more education we can give to, clients or potential clients is great. And I still think there's a huge opportunity for that. So, that's a great story. And the, getting in before many people there wasn't any training or anything like that, so you kind of had to learn the ropes, but that's still not a terrible thing. I think everybody kind of learns their own way, so that's a good way to do it as well.
Definitely.
So Fabiola, during this, that's 17 years, since you started spray tanning since 2000. It's hard to believe. I'm sure you've had a ton of roller coaster moments from the highs to the lows. It's something that every entrepreneur faces. So if you want to let us know, kind of touch on your worst and best entrepreneurial moment to share both sides of that, to kind of let our listeners understand how it works and how business is, that'd be great.
Well, my worst moment, maybe I could say it was when I got this carpal tunnel syndrome, like 5 years ago, from handling those big guns and spraying tens and 20 people a day and 30 people a day and 40 a day. So that's what it really got to my arm. And the carpal tunnel is like a whole nerve that goes from your neck all the way down to the arm. I had to stop spraying because the pain was so bad. I was like, oh my God. Even though I always had a girl that helped me, like from the beginning. I mean, not from the beginning. She's been with me like for 8-9 years now, which is a long time. And I just had to tell everyone, I'm sorry, I just can't spray. I cannot even my hand will hurt if I will be like driving. Do you imagine? I couldn't even cook, that I love cooking. I couldn't even hold a knife because it will hurt my hand. So the doctor said to me, you have to stop. You either get a surgery, which I didn't want to, or you stop. So I had to stop. And it was difficult because it was the first time that somehow I had to let go and let someone else do the job for me. So it was kind of a revelation. It was great because I let people see that Maritza does a very good job as well. So that was one of the things that at the beginning was bad, but like everything in life, something bad happens for a reason because something good is going to happen after that. So that was kind of my worst moment, that I had to stop spraying and I had to say no to so many people, and I would just have to rely on other people.
Sure.
So that was pretty much the worst moment. And the best moment, oh my God, I really have to say about a celebrity in here because I think she's amazing. Okay. When J-Lo's assistant called me that we needed to get a spray for her, I was so happy. I think it was the highlight of my career.
Oh, that's awesome.
She's so nice, so pretty, so amazing. I got to go into a bathroom with her and see her and be like like a friend, because they're like totally naked in front of you, like it was just out of this world. I love her.
I bet that was a highlight. It's nice to get to even see people that are famous and on that level, so to be able to interact with them and then that intimate of a setting and then talk to them and just kind of get to know them a little bit was probably a really, really cool experience.
Yeah, I still think about it. Give me chills.
That means it's a good one. So, and Fabiola, that means if you had the carpal tunnel and things changing with your business, there's a lot of changes over 17 years as far as the actual structure goes, and you have somebody spraying with you, somebody that's been around for a little bit. But as your business grew and as that that happened where you had the carpal tunnel and you weren't able to spray as much or if at all, how have you changed, or how has your process or what you do change, from day to week to month? Like, what different things do you do within the business itself that you used to not have to do?
Well, I was somehow forced to be more into the working inside of the business, try to make it a little bit more out, and somehow get the word out about spray tans. Can be natural looking. They can be not streaky at all. They don't have to be orange. I mean, they are not orange. It depends on what kind of solution you use. So the idea is for me, was to be more active in social media. Mm-hmm. And that was something that somehow I had a little bit more time, because social media is something that you really have to think about. If you do the right hashtags and the right pictures, it's just amazing what, you can do. And at the same time, this teach me how to delegate more. I had to. I didn't have any other way. I had to let go and train more people to help me out, which was nice. I began spraying again about 6 months ago, so I'm very excited. I'll tell you a little bit about it, how that happened.
Sure, yeah, please do.
So, you want me to tell you now?
Yeah, I mean, you can, if you want to kind of talk about that, I mean, it seems like I'm sure that you had to go through some...
No, the thing is, remember that I told you, it's those, usually the big ones, the big guns, the ones that are very good for spray tanning, the ones that the spray comes out so fine, it's so perfect. They're heavy as well.
Yeah.
They're the ones that have that metal part. So I was having the worst problem trying to find a gun that will do a great spray, but at the same time it won't break my hand.
Yeah.
So I tested so many machines. I had all over trying to see which ones worked, and I had to send back so many machines because they would say that they would do a good job, because I was trying not to look for the heavy ones. And when I tested them, it wasn't like that. So I got this machine that it's from Sonifex that I absolutely love. It's funny because when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, this looks it's like a toy because it's all plastic. But somehow I was forced to use it because a client of mine got it for herself at her house, and I will go into her house and spray with her. When I saw this little toy, it's like, oh my God, Renee, are you kidding me? And I began spraying it with it. It was such a revelation because I did such a great job with such a little gun that it's not as heavier as my iPhone. So for me, it has been the best thing ever to be able to spray again, but it has to be with this gun. I cannot use the regular ones anymore.
Yeah, that's great. I mean,
Go figure.
Yeah, that's great to hear, and it's awesome to hear, and all the listeners to pay attention to the passion that you have for that. It goes beyond just the business and things like that. Obviously, you really enjoy the spraying, so being able to do that again, which is what you started off doing in the business, is probably very amazing for you. And also the focus that you were able to apply to the business side of things versus just, whatever else people get caught up in, different products and techniques and things like that might help a little bit, but they're really not going to grow the business, whereas social media, marketing, website, things like that is another way to focus. And obviously with social media, as it continues to grow and expand and increase in popularity, it's more important to be able to understand that. And as a small business, it is a challenge.
And we have free advertising in our social media. How amazing is that? We should take advantage of that stuff because it's free advertising that we can get. But we're the ones that have to make it happen.
Sure.
You are the one that has to get like a great idea. You have to get your advertising genius in you, and just do it. And somehow, if you don't know where to start, I always say, just see what other people are doing. This is something that has been invented already. Just follow the leaders.
Sure.
See someone who has lots of followers and is like very, very famous in what they do, and see what they do, what kind of hashtags they use, what kind of pictures they use. Just kind of mimic that. Why not?
Yep.
Do not copy them. Just mimic them.
Absolutely. That's very good. Very good, recommendation there. And also, it's a really good opportunity to connect with people on a personal scale, which is what you notice. Even a lot of big companies on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, they actually respond to the people and make people know that they're being heard.
Yeah.
And as a small business, obviously, we have even better opportunity to do that. And obviously, you probably get to know a lot of the people on a personal name basis. So that just takes it another step further. So,
yeah.
Fabiola, if you had to pinpoint one thing that has helped your business, grow over the last 17 years, obviously you've done a lot of things very well, but if you had to pinpoint one thing, what would that specific thing be?
That's difficult. One thing. Oh my God. I think everyone says it, I believe, but I think it's the personal care that you give to every client, because there's going to be competition everywhere. And somehow you have to excel. You have to give them a reason why they're going to choose you instead of the other people. And thank God spray tanning is growing like crazy. So why they're going to choose you? So you can, before I had my own thing with spray tanning, I was always working in the spa business here in South Beach. And my last job was at the Ritz-Carlton. And I loved what they taught me. And it was always exceed your customers' expectations. Whatever you think that you're going to do for them, do more. And that was it. I didn't care if I had to kneel and help them put their shoe on because they didn't want to sit down to put their shoes on. Take care of a little thing that they hadn't. It's just like, I was like their maid.
Yeah.
Believe me. And that's I don't know, I'm sure that you have been to a Ritz-Carlton. When you go there, everyone is so nice to you. They do like all the stuff for you. That's what I've always done. And that's what I always taught the girls that work for me. Just do the extra thing. And I think that it's gold.
I agree with that 100%. I know, I can't remember what podcast was exactly. Maybe episode 1 or 2, we talked about customer service and how, 90% of businesses believe they provide exceptional customer service, but only 8% of customers actually agree with that. And another way I like to think of it, I used to think a lot about people as my customers or clients or things like that, but I try to change the wording in my head maybe to even provide better service and to say that I actually serve, how can I better serve these people? And when you're actually providing the service for people and actually serving them versus they're my client or I'm their person they come to, really changes your mindset.
Like in a friendly way.
Yep.
So many of my clients have become my very good friends because just they feel that you really care for what you do. And one more thing. I know you said just one, but one more thing.
Sure.
I think skin knowledge, it's very important for self-tanners. For technicians working in spray tan, because when you're spraying a client, you see them naked right in front of you. You can pinpoint if they have any kind of skin condition, if they have rosacea, or if they have vitiligo. Is that how you say vitiligo? Vitiligo?
Yeah, vitiligo. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Vitiligo. So you can somehow recommend stuff for them. The spray tan needs to be done somehow a little bit different if they have rosacea or they have vitiligo. Like that kind of stuff. If they're very dry, if they're oily, if they have acne on their backs. So this is something that every spray tan technician should self-taught. Everything is available. The resources that we have online are infinite. We have access to so much stuff, and it's up to you to self-teach yourself.
Yep.
I need to know more about skin, so learn about it. You don't have to go somewhere. You can learn it online.
Yeah, I agree with that. And not only are you going to serve your clients better, but you're also going to set yourself apart. Most people are just come in, spray them, get out. But if you're kind of assessing them and taking another step, another way to provide that service and make it even better, then that's just going to make you stand out even more. So that's a very good point.
Totally, yes.
Well, you kind of mentioned equipment, a little bit about the gun and how you had to change to a lighter gun due to the carpal tunnel you had, and there's tons of different equipment and solution out there. If you want to share the type of equipment and solution that you use, or
of course,
if you feel free to.
The equipment that I told you that I really love is the one that I have in here in my room, because the other room, the girl that uses the other room, she has the regular ones, the big guns. So this one, the one that I have, it's from Sound Effects. They have so many kinds, and the one that I have is the tiny little one, the one that you can take everywhere, because I wanted to start with that to see if this one works. I cannot imagine how the bigger ones work if the little one works well, so I'm very excited. And about solution, I am not married to a specific brand. I think that there are so many brands out there, and somehow you need to assess what will work for you, because something that works here in South Beach with that much of humidity will not work for a state in the West. California, to Nevada, all those places are so much drier than in here.
Absolutely.
So it depends what area are you, what season are you. If you're in the winter, if you're in the summer, that all changes. So for me, I use 5 different brands. For example, the pH balancer is one brand. I have a clear solution without any bronzer. It's another brand. 2 different brands for my bronzed solution, and another brand for the retail. So for me, when you're picking up the perfect solution for you, it has to be the perfect balance. One that has the perfect bronzer. When you spray them, it looks pretty. I hate those solutions personally, right? Yeah. I hate those solutions that you spray and they look so dark that it's oh my God, how am I going to be able to do the things that I need to do for the day? They need to hide in their houses because they look like freaks. That for me is awful. Besides, or it is just super dark, and when they shower, they get a totally false illusion what the tan is going to look like. Because when you're done, they see something very dark. They go in the shower and the tan totally goes away. So for me, it has to be a light bronzer so it doesn't come off everywhere in their clothes.
Right.
One. The other thing, it's the smell. That it smells the least possible, because the DHA, even though some people say, no, my solution doesn't smell, it does. There's different kinds. People smell in different ways. Are some people that are very sensitive to their nose. Some people like it. Go figure.
Yeah.
So it needs to be, a product that smells very little.
Yep.
The stickiness, the less stickiness possible. How the product develops when they shower. If it develops well. If not develops too dark or too light. It needs to be just perfect. How long it stays on the skin and how it fades away. So it's like a combination of all those things that are so important for you to choose a product that works well with the area where you're at.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good point, and it's one of my pet peeves in the forums, which are great on Facebook, but everybody always comes in and says, what's your favorite X solution? Rapid solution, this solution, that solution, and it's just like, hey, here come the advertisements for everybody's favorite solution. So it's just, it's overwhelming because, like you said, different areas of the United States, let alone different countries and things like that, it's going to vary so much, and the way you spray, what your clients are used to, there's too many variables to just say, this is the best solution. So, very good point.
Yeah, it's impossible. It's impossible.
It is.
So you just have to play with it, right?
Yep, exactly. So, Fabiola, you started in 2000. Obviously, there wasn't much training. You said you were pretty much there self-taught, learning and spraying everybody that came in sight. So, have you gone through any training or certification since then?
No, I haven't really. I tried one class that I don't want to say, but it was just like totally sitting down, watching someone spray. That was it. That wasn't any kind of training for me. I kind of traveled a little bit, which was nice.
Sure.
But no, I haven't really done any training. Like I said, whenever I wanted to see something different, I will look it up online, and I will find like very good things online. Actually, I am training right now. That's what I'm doing, like a full day training from 10 to 5, and we've finished, and there's still stuff to talk about because it's not only spray. It's about how you put the business outside, how you do social media, how do you organize yourself to do mobile tanning, how to do contouring. It's just never ending. So I came out, I just finished writing actually. It's a 44-page ebook called Mastering the Art of Spray Tanning that I love. It's available on my website. And anyone, even the people that are starting, or even the people that want to take the business a little bit more to a higher end, level, it's nice because they can read about it. And after they buy it, whatever question that they have, they can always have, ask me, and they have access to me to say, hey, what can I do with this? What can I do with that? There's just so many little details that will make your spray tans much better. Just like what you put on the floor. For me, it's something so simple, but at the same time, so many people, I believe they do. For example, I went to New York. I'll never forget one of the best places in there. They will make me step on a towel that was wet already. They didn't even change it. So for me, to have a towel, it's usually dark because no one puts a white towel on the floor, right? So you have no idea where you're stepping on. So, little things like that, for me, like the construction paper, that craft paper, is that what I use on the floors.
Yeah.
And that paper is so absorbent that she can keep on moving on the paper and her soles of the feet won't be stained. Like little things like that I think are so important for us to give our clients the best experience while they're getting spray tan.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that, and it's great to hopefully people can go check out that ebook if they want to learn some more. We'll drop the link in that in the show notes below, so they can definitely get to that. That'll obviously hopefully reach a lot of people and help them advance their knowledge a little bit more. You can never stop learning, so that's good.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. Good to hear. So, Fabiola, it's been 17 years, a lot of work. If you had to write a letter right now to yourself 17 years ago when you were just starting out, what would you say?
Oh, my God. Hang in there, Fabiola. Something good is going to happen at the end. Promise.
So, patience.
Patience. What patience? I don't have that. But somehow I have to learn it with my son. And then this came, but it's about hanging in there, definitely. It's just about, it's like marriages. Just do it. Just stay there. You don't have any other option.
Yeah.
Businesses are like marriage. You just have to just stay there, make it happen. And it's good. It's not easy, but just do it.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Absolutely.
That's what it is.
Absolutely. There's tons of ups and downs. Hopefully the ups, outweigh the downs, and there's going to be times where you're doubting it, but there's going to be times where you're celebrating, and who knows what could happen. So patience is always a good one to kind of point out there. And if you focus on that and focus on your customers and providing exceptional service like Fabiola mentioned, then you will find success over time.
Yes, and for me, this is something I started when my son was little. And for me, the main thing was to have a little bit my time, so I don't have to go somewhere. And so it was amazing for me to be able to have my time and be able to be with my son where I could be. So somehow, I think this is amazing for people that are starting to do something, and you can make it as big as you want to.
I agree with that. Very, very good. Yeah, I completely agree with that, and it's a great opportunity for a lot of people. I just wish I could help to kind of teach that, and part of the reason why the podcast exists is to kind of teach people, hey, this is a long road. It's not overnight. Don't compare yourself to other people in the forums that have been around. If you're just starting out, expect it to take some time to kind of come together, but don't give up. Hang in there. And have some patience.
Like go to your local supermarket, leave your cards like in a stick somewhere in there. Go to the local model agencies. Go to the local magazines. Every city has their local magazine. Go over there. Maybe advertise. Do like a little ad. Have the girls that they can come over and get a spray tan for 50% off. Get the word out.
Definitely. Well, Fabiola, thank you so much for sharing your 17 years of experience here on the podcast.
My pleasure. So happy to be able to do this.
Thank you so much. And just to mention, if anybody has any questions, you said they could reach out to you. Do you have an email that you want to share?
Yes,
I can also drop it down below.
info@sobetan.com. Sobetan is like South Beach, Sobetan.
SOBE10.com.
So S like in Sam, O, B like in boy, ETAN.
Perfect. I'll drop that down below. Also a link to the ebook that you mentioned. Again, Fabiola, thank you so much.
There.
Okay, great.
My pleasure.
Perfect.
Thank you, Grant.
Thank you, Fabiola. Take care and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for joining us again today on the Happy Tans podcast. Thank you so much, Fabiola, for joining us from beautiful South Beach, Miami at Sobetan. She shared a lot of information and insights with everybody about her 17-year career in the spray tanning industry. She's been around for a long time in this industry and tells you how much patience really matters. Not giving up and really sticking in there. She also pointed out how important it is to take care and actually serve your customers and go a little bit above and beyond what everyone else does. That always stands out. Customer service is underrated and people still focus on too many things and not their customers. Think outside the box sometimes. Consider buying some gifts or something for your clients instead of investing in other things that might not bring you a direct return, such as buying additional products and things that you might not need, or testing additional products or anything like that. Thank you so much again for joining us on this podcast. This podcast is sponsored by happytans.biz, the first website builder for sunless tanners only. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email, happytans.com. You can find the questions link on there. I'm always here to help you and your business in any way that I can. Thank you again and have a wonderful day. Happy tanning.